Project Management Lecture 2. Today we will learn about project initiation and planning, project initiation process, project planning process, project scope and requirements. Project initiation process. The project initiation process is the first phase of a project and is critical to the success of the project. During this phase, the project manager and stakeholders define the project objectives, identify the scope of work, establish a preliminary budget and timeline, and develop a high-level plan for the project. Here are the key steps involved in the project initiation process. 1. Project identification. The first step is to identify the need for the project, which could arise from various sources, such as business needs, customer requests, market demand, or regulatory requirements. 2. Project selection. Once the need for the project is identified, the next step is to evaluate whether the project aligns with the organization's strategic goals and objectives and select the projects that will be undertaken. 3. Stakeholder identification. Identify all stakeholders who will be involved in the project, including sponsors, clients, users, and vendors, and determine their roles and responsibilities. 4. Project charter. Develop a project charter, which is a formal document that outlines the project's objectives, scope, assumptions, constraints, risks, and high-level plan. The charter should be approved by the project sponsor and stakeholders. 5. Feasibility study. Conduct a feasibility study to determine whether the project is viable, considering factors such as budget, timeline, resources, risks, and benefits. 6. Risk assessment. Identify and assess the risks associated with the project and develop a risk management plan to mitigate or avoid these risks. 7. Project plan. Develop a high-level project plan that outlines the major deliverables, timelines, budget, resources, and milestones for the project. 8. Project kickoff. Once the project initiation process is complete, hold a project kickoff meeting to introduce the project team, review the project charter and plan, and establish communication channels. By these steps, the project team can ensure that the project is properly planned, scoped, and evaluated before the project execution phase begins. This sets the foundation for the successful completion of the project within the given timeline and budget while meeting the required quality standards. Project planning process. The project planning process is a critical phase of project management where the project manager and team develop a detailed plan for executing the project. The project plan serves as a roadmap for the project, outlining the steps, resources, and timelines necessary to complete the project objective. Here are the key steps involved in the project planning process. 1. Define the project scope. Clearly define the project scope and objectives, which will guide the planning process and ensure that the project team is aligned on the project's purpose. 2. Identify project deliverables. Identify the specific deliverables or outcomes that must be produced as part of the project, which will help define the project's activities. 3. Create a work breakdown structure. DUBS. Develop a DUBS, which is a hierarchical breakdown of the project deliverables into smaller, manageable tasks that can be assigned to team members. 4. Define tasks and activities. Break down the project tasks into smaller activities and define the activity's duration, dependencies, and resources required. 5. Develop a project schedule. Create a project schedule by estimating the time required for each activity and sequencing the activities in the proper order to ensure a logical flow of work. 6. Allocate resources. Identify the resources required to complete the project, including personnel, equipment, and materials, and allocate them to project activities. 7. Develop a budget. Develop a budget that estimates the costs associated with the project, including personnel, equipment, materials, and overhead costs. 8. Develop a risk management plan. Identify the risks associated with the project and develop a plan to mitigate or manage them. 9. Define quality standards. Establish the quality standards that the project deliverables must meet and develop a plan to ensure that the deliverables meet these standards. 10. Develop a communication plan. Define how project information will be communicated, who will receive it, and when and how often it will be provided. By following these steps, the project team can develop a detailed and comprehensive plan for executing the project, ensuring that all project activities are identified and managed to achieve the project's objectives within the given timeline, budget, and quality standards. Project scope and requirements. Project scope and requirements are two critical aspects of project management. Scope defines the boundaries of the project, including what is included and excluded from the project. Requirements are the specific needs and expectations that the project must meet to be considered successful. Here's a brief explanation of each concept. Project scope. The project scope defines the goals, deliverables, tasks, and boundaries of a project. It defines what the project team needs to accomplish and the work that will not be included in the project. The scope document should be agreed upon and approved by all stakeholders to avoid confusion or misunderstandings throughout the project. The scope document typically includes the following elements. 1. Project objectives. 2. Deliverables and acceptance criteria. 3. Assumptions and constraints. 4. Out-of-scope items. 5. Project schedule. 6. Project budget. 7. Project resources and constraints. Requirements. Project requirements define the specific features, functions, and capabilities that the project must deliver to meet the stakeholders' needs. These requirements are derived from a variety of sources, including customer requests, business objectives, regulations, and stakeholder feedback. Requirements help ensure that the project is designed and implemented to meet the desired outcome. The requirements document typically includes the following elements. 1. Functional requirements. 2. Non-functional requirements. 3. Business requirements. 4. User requirements. 5. Technical requirements. 6. Performance requirements. 7. Quality requirements. Together, project scope and requirements provide a clear and comprehensive understanding of what needs to be accomplished, what resources are required, and how success will be measured. A well-defined scope and requirements document help the project team to work more efficiently and effectively, minimize misunderstandings, and achieve the project objectives within the given timeline, budget, and quality standards. Thanks for watching. Wait for more videos.